How's it going, everybody? This is Goldenbolt, and welcome to an entire look at the Flashpoint in the Old Republic, known as the Boarding Party. It is my longest Old Republic video to date, and in fact, it might be my longest video to date. This is the entire run-through of it at normal speed, so that you guys all know everything about it. There will be annotations that you can click if you'd like to skip straight ahead to the bosses. This is all post-commentated, just so you know. This is my Sith Assassin, who you've all hopefully come to know and love, and before anybody's like, "Oh, your rotation is so bad!" Shut up. I don't think people play this game for that right now. There's a handful of people who are max level, at least on my server. I am guildless in this. This is a group of friends I have online. I met here. One person I think I had just met for this, but yeah, I just met these guys for this, and yeah, we decided we're gonna run through the boarding party. Now the boarding party starts, I believe you get a mission that you can go talk to Darth Malgus around level 30, though you're not advised to come here until you're level 33 roughly. I was the highest in the group. I was level 36 at this point, because I seem to be over-leveled for a lot of the things, a lot of these side things. Story-wise, I'm normally right around where I should be. And, yeah, I figured I'd kick back and, share my breakfast while, share my my voice talking while I eat my breakfast for this, so every once in a while, if you hear a break, I'm munching on that Nutri-Grain. Yeah, there's a handful of bonus missions that you get. The comlink relays that it showed up there. Those actually, you don't actually finish that until the very end of the Flashpoint. I think you get the 6th one in the last room. We 100% completed this Flashpoint. No one had really done it except for our bounty hunter, who, by the way, is a hero. You'll find out at the end of the video. Yeah, he's the only one who did it on a level 50, or with a level 50 before. I don't exactly remember. But he knew some of the boss strategies, but not all of them. So, but I cut a lot of the time we spent just sitting there and explaining stuff to me explaining it. Now, we're not 100% sure on it, but it seemed like our strategies worked. And I do have water, so one second. That's good. Yeah. So as I said, lots of bonus missions that come up. I believe you got 3 stages of 1 bonus missions plus the comlink destroying. Yeah. My Sith Assassin, before anybody asks, is Deception Spect, which is the more melee based damage dealer of the assassin, whereas Madness is the more ranged based assassin, and Darkness is the tanking assassin. I chose Deception because I thought it would be cool. We've got a Sith Juggernaut tank. We've got a Sith Sorcerer healer. I don't know what the spec is for that or the skill set. And we've got what I believe is a powered or pyro power tech, but I could be wrong. Mainly because he's using flamethrowers right there. But he is a power tech damage dealer, which pretty interesting. Naturally, though, the 3 of us are all arrogant Sith Lords, so we all choose similar answers when it comes to killing people in the instance. Story-based people. Yes, I'm not going to talk entirely about this, mainly because it is an hour-long video thing, and I figured that it would be good to commentate over this. If you don't like the commentary, mute the video. That's really all I have to say. There's not much audio to it. I'll be keeping quiet during the cutscenes. If that's what you need to hear, then yeah, that'll be me shutting up for. There's about 2 to 3 cutscenes throughout this, and I'll be showing those, complete with our dialogue choices and how. I guess this is technically our first Flashpoint video. I was planning for it to be Black Talon with our Imperial Agent, but I did this the other day and recorded the whole thing, and I was like, I could put out a video of this. So thank you for bearing with me throughout this, and I appreciate it if you stand through the whole, or sit through the whole thing. I'm not going to be talking entirely about the game. I mean, you don't really need to see it. I'll be talking about boss strategies, for the ones that exist. And yeah, it's not too complicated stuff. Just, I mean, if you know what you're doing, then you'll pretty much be fine. Unlike in other MMOs, you don't need to stay set. Like, you know how in other MMOs you kind of just have the tank grab everyone and then just pull them all together and everyone just damages them down. That's kind of not exactly how this game works. And seeing as though I'm over-leveled here, a lot higher than the tank, I'm constantly pulling aggro off of him, so if you see me vanish every once in a while, that's so I can cut back and he can regain it back so I don't cause problems for him. Before we get too far into it, I do apologize for the chat. I have no way of saying, hey guys, don't swear. I know I said that I keep my channel like family-friendly stuff, so, I mean, if you see a naughty word up there, close your eyes, kids. Yeah, I cut out most of the downtime that we had. Some of it, I just kind of was lazy and was just like, meh, it's okay. Because we kind of did rush on through this. I believe the average team takes about an hour, 10 minutes to finish this, but we went pretty quick. I did cut out, we died a few times at some of the bosses, mainly because we didn't really know how to do it, and we tested out a couple ideas and they didn't work. I have cut out the failed attempts mainly because I figured that would kind of be a waste of time, and I'm sure you guys don't want to see me just see us just die. Yeah, as you can see, we just hit the second comm link right there. Yep, good stuff. So talking for an hour, here we go. This is good. This is good. We have my breakfast here and my sleepy tiredness, because man, that hurt when the alarm went off today. Let me tell you, that was painful. You gotta. I show off every single piece of loot that we get, so you guys can take a look at the stats if you want to pause it or anything like that. I had a ton of gems in there because I just was working on my artificing. I had a ton of color crystals, I guess I should say, because I was working on that. And my guy's wardrobe might look a little different, especially for videos that are forthcoming, like cutscenes, mainly because this is recorded. I have all that stuff pre-recorded, so I mean, if you see another video come out with like Chapter 2 Part 2, and my character here looks a little different, that's because this was recorded afterwards, and I just have a lineup of stuff of when I want to release Old Republic stuff. But I might be not taking a break from it, but I might be uploading other stuff very soon, more than Old Republic, mainly because this is a pretty huge video, and I figured you guys would want to see other stuff after this. There's plenty of containers to blow up in this to stun a lot of the ads. Basically, a lot of the boss fights in this is ad control. It kind of teaches you that, and if you mess up, you get smacked in the face, basically. There's no real room for mistakes, but it's a good thing that it kind of teaches you what to do. It says, hey, you messed up, and now you're paying for it. And I think that's a really good, you know, strategy to teach players how to play. Yeah, we did just kind of, as I said, speed on through this, and, yeah. I have a lot of time today, so I figured, as you can see, explosive barrel right there, dude shoots it, and they all die. That's so satisfying, and I was very glad to see a pyro. At least I can assume pyro, yeah, he has to be, because he's shooting flamethrowers constantly. Pyro, bounty hunter. Now coming on to the first boss here, I cut out a lot of the discussion. There is a slight boss strategy. He's going to connect himself to a lot of the 4 cylinders around the room, and he will cause lightning chains to it, at which point if you stand in it, just don't stand in it. Additionally, that'll leave stuff on the ground. Doesn't this sound very strategic and smart? As you can see, it prepares for a discharge, and that he just kind of shoots it at those things in the ground from the cylinders on the side. And he also leaves tracings and circular patterns on the ground, in which if you stand in it, then you're kind of going to get electrocuted. Which, you know, Inquisitor shouldn't have a problem with. Just kidding. But he does seem to have some kind of pole move, or else something else is doing that, but people are just getting pulled constantly back and forth. But really, that's the only boss strategy to this, is basically stand out of the lightning and make sure he doesn't attach himself or charge himself with lightning while you're standing in the way, because you will get hit. And it will do a good amount of damage. As you can see, the tank's kind of just standing there in the circle, but after it starts to heat up, he moves. And as you see, I'm in one right now. That was kind of a pickle because I was in a thing on the floor, and yet there were I was surrounded by two of the electronic, little fences. I almost want to say they're like fences because they are. They just kind of create walls between him and the cylinders. I guess they're not really cylinders; they're more generators on the side, and that's where he draws his power from. All in all, not too hard of a boss fight. This is one of those make sure you're not standing in crap boss fights. Stay out of. As you can see there, even when he dies, he lets out a little surge, and he did drop a piece of Juggernaut Foundry gear. Luckily, or not luckily, our Juggernaut can't use it yet because he's not level 33. He was only level 32 at the time coming in here. I'm sure now he's got it equipped and decked out and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, he couldn't at first because that was it. And here's the stats again if you'd like to take a look at that. And moving right along. As you can see, we wasted no time except for the occasional wrongdoing in this instance, I guess Flashpoint. Now this place is glitchy as anything. This thing is probably one of the glitchiest places I've ever been in. And that's okay because, it still hasn't been out for even a month yet. I mean, normal launch date, I think for people who pre-ordered, which I did not, that it's been out for about a month, if not a little longer. But yeah, this is month 1 of release, and people are still like, oh my god, there's so many problems with it. It's not as good as WoW. WoW has been out for 7 years. 7. This has been out for 1 month. And I enjoy it more right now. But not getting into that kind of debate. There's another piece of green gear there. Yeah, this place still has some glitches in it. I.e., if you die to a boss, his loot chest will be glitched and you cannot get it. We found that out the hard way. And you'll see that on the last boss and the Jedi boss. At least the Jedi boss who has the 2 healers that you'll see. Again, if you'd like to not watch this whole thing, I have annotations for each boss up on the top of the video, and just, mouse over and click which one you'd like to see. And, yeah. It's good stuff. And here's some stuff that I really liked, is that the NPCs you got to defeat were named Jedi Knight and Jedi Consular. And I just think that was cool. I was like, it felt like you're actually, serving the Sith when they send the Jedis in and the troopers in, and you have to kill them. Which I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem seeing Jedi set on fire. That's fine with me. Never had an issue with that. And here's another bonus in which you got to kill 10 Jedi. Now the consulars use the moves that most sages use. Which is the telekinetic throw, in which he projects the little rocks at you, and the Jedi Knight just kind of sits there and takes the hits. Granted, they're just ads, but they are, or they're just, trash mobs, but they are, elite ranked. There is a handful of trash in here that is just normal, not strong or anything. They have no symbol next to their name, which was interesting. This is a room where you can get a lot of bonus stuff done. There's a handful of, I think there's 2 comm links in here, and this is where you finish off at least most of the stage 2 defeat Jedi thing. The last 2 Jedi I believe we killed for the stage was with the boss that we'll be coming up to. And yeah, the next coming boss is going to teach you a little bit about crowd control and dealing with ads. As in which ones you should take care of first, as does the bonus one. There is a bonus boss that we do get to. As you can see, Black Magix, who's our sorcerer, is saying yawn, because, I mean, it's just constant trash, and they're just, they're easy. no real challenge to it. If you don't play the Old Republic and you're wondering what the crap that stuff is on my lightsaber, it's called Surging Charge, and it is the proper. The way assassins work is that they charge their lightsaber with certain, well, charges. Madness is going to go with a lightning charge, which just has a bit of static cling coming off of it. Darkness is going to go with dark charge, which is going to make it all have, think Kingdom Hearts darkness, that kind of stuff. That flowing off of it. And mine is surging charge, which just has like pure electricity, just pure damage constantly. Handful of security chests throughout here, which for some reason only give you like Leatherus or Leatherus, however you want to pronounce it, gear. I think that happened twice now, which is kind of weird. But hey, this is an MMO, which I don't think people understand, is that it can change whenever. In fact, there was an entire patch that just came out, I think, because today's Tuesday, that they already put in a new Flashpoint for level 50s, so I mean, I'm not level 50 yet. It's like they have a ton of content planned for this game, like they had a ton of content planned before it even came out, which I am totally okay with. I think that's great. So, you know, because I can't speak for max level, because I'm not there yet. Could be entirely front-loaded. The game, max level endgame, might be terrible. And you might just be doing dailies and flashpoints that you already did, but I know that there are hard mode flashpoints, which made me quite happy, because, you know, I'm a sucker for going back. I'm a sucker for replay value, and going back and doing especially Black Talon. Black Talon was fantastic. Especially going back and doing Black Talon on hard mode. I think that's great. Because I saw a lot of people saying, like, looking for group, Black Talon, hard mode, and I'm like, oh, that is awesome. That was just great. That was a great thing for me to see. Yeah, I'm moving right along here. I do have a few quests tracked. As you can tell, from my quest track, that I have finished up the Ashara Zavros storyline at this point in the game, and I'll be showing the cutscenes for that, releasing videos of that later on, periodically. But as for what will be coming, uploading, update time, I just put out Toontown, and Sonic Generations should be on its way. I'm going to try and crank that out so I can be finished with it. I'm putting that in the bonus LP category, along with the Olympic Winter Games, because it wasn't planned as the others. And right now, I have Star Fox planned to return. Now, as much as you might think this isn't a boss, she's just a champion. But it does give you a little hint of what's to come, saying she is equipped with 2 ads, much like the boss is. So our sorcerer suggests to crowd control one of them. For some reason, these guys can see through my stealth level, so I could not crowd control them as I wanted to, but that wasn't a problem. Kinda sucks though. Not sure why I couldn't do that, but you know, it's not that big a deal. And also, yeah, as I'm typing here, I can't crowd control droids. My mind trap doesn't work on droids. So as you would assume, you're gonna want to take out the ads first, because they're just unnecessary damage dealers. And sorcerers can use Whirlwind, I think, for up to a minute. Whirlwind lasts, whereas Assassin's Whirlwind only lasts for like 8 seconds. So we're just gonna leave that droid spinning up there while we take on Major Alvina here. There's just kind of a mini boss. Think Mega Man X, that giant bee in the intro stage. That was kind of a mini boss, as is Major Alvina. She's not really hard, but she's gonna teach you a few of the aspects of. She'll give you a little hint as to what's gonna happen later on, which I think is great. You don't see a lot of that these days. Saw a lot of it back in the day, as I'm talking like an old man here. But yeah, back in the day, you know, other games, they'd kind of say, this is what's gonna happen, you better take note of this. And, yeah. And, they re-crowd controlled that robot. That droid. That's what, CC stands for those of you who aren't MMO literate. Yeah, as you can see, she didn't drop a blue or an orange or whatever kind of gear you would like to consider it, but because she's a mini-boss. You do get a handful of commendations throughout here. Terrace commendations, I believe, primarily. And, yeah. Right after you kill her and her ads, more guys spawn, so make sure you're kinda... So if you're also doing this and, like, looking for a guide to do this, make sure your healer's, you know, on the ball there, because if you're down on damage for some reason from that mini-boss, then, yeah, those guys just run right out at you. Yeah, it does give you a handful of commendations, and I'm still finishing up the Thanavesh quest line on Terrace, which I'm uploading. It's a love that was never meant to be, basically. That's the, it's just gonna be cutscenes, whereas a bit of, you know, bit of the Ashara Zavros cutscene stuff was, had some gameplay and some fights. The Thanavesh one is just gonna be cutscenes, and I'm gonna have a bit of commentary on there. Mainly for funniness' sake. Funniness' sake? I don't know. For hilarity's sake, I will say. Calling myself hilarious. You know it. Yeah, Thanavesh. It's just one of those loves that was never meant to be, apparently. Thanavesh would have been like the perfect Inquisitor-like partner. Just saying. Way better than Ashara Zavros. I mean, what Inquisitor's gonna be nicey-nicey? Thanavesh is perfect. I was like, oh, she's awesome. And every single thing in the conversation with her is a flirt. But you can't, but it just, like, gets you nowhere. It's the funniest thing. Like, you'll say something ridiculous, and as you can see, our, sorcerer likes to push people off the cliff. This happens a few times. But yeah, you can, and this is why you lock your action bar, kids, right there. Everything you say to her is like a flirt, and but you get nowhere out of it. You say like the most ridiculous, hilarious things. It's just so funny, and she'll just be like, heard that line before. I'm like, wow, alright then. Strike out. But, you know, it's entertaining. And that droid comes through a wall. Which is nice. Real nice. And our sorcerer does like to shove people off the cliff. There was one where she sent a consular down there, but he stays down there for like 5 minutes, so I cut that out. But it was all in good fun. I still don't have a last name, by the way. So I don't know if it does at any point during this, but if it ever says, create your legacy, I don't. Ever. I haven't created it yet, mainly because, I don't know why, really. I guess I can't think of one, and once you make it, it's permanent. Like, I have a friend of mine who made one, and he was not happy with it, and he wanted to change it, and you can't. So I was like, I'm gonna wait until I have something really good. And it's not like it really matters that much, because, as you can see from my bar, my legacy level had just hit 2. So I had already hit legacy level 2. Your legacy level still goes up, even if you don't have a name. But it just doesn't say your name there. Which is, you know, I'm alright with. Just having Lord in front of my name is good enough for me. Eventually Darth one day. One day I'll be a Darth. And that'll be oh so satisfying. There's a ton of barrels in this. I like to call it... They're not really barrels, they're more crates. That was kind of cool. That guy got electrocuted and pushed backwards. That's a Jedi veteran. He's not a knight or a consular, but he still counts. Isn't it funny how all the Cathars look the same? Like, you'll see Ashara Zavros' master, except you have seen, that's right. Master Ryan looks just like that. As does, I believe, somebody in the Smuggler story looks like that. Yeah, it is a Smuggler guy. Somebody in the Smuggler story looks exactly like that, but he's another, like, major character on Coruscant. Well, I guess not major, he's kind of just, he's influential, without spoiling anything. I do play as a Smuggler on my For the Republic, which, as rarely as I play on the Republic, that is normally what I play on. A Smuggler. Because, you know, I just thought it'd be cool to not have a lightsaber. And it is. A Smuggler is a pretty good storyline. Probably one of the better ones. Because it's not what you can... I mean, you're not going to get ridiculed if you choose light or dark side. Because you kind of just do whatever you want for money. At least that's how I made my guy act like. And I think Corso Riggs is like one of the more dynamic companions, and you have like a reason to be friends with him and that kind of stuff. Whereas Kemval, he like hates you, but he's forced to come with you. Although, you know, me and Kem, we got like a special friendship. We're like best friends that anyone could have. We can throw Andronikos in there too. We're the 3 best friends that anyone could have. And, you know, occasionally when Zash switches her body out, you know, the 3.5 best friends, I guess I should say, and now Ashar is there and that dumb droid. So we're the 5 best friends. Spoiler alert, by the way. Another Jedi Knight and Jedi Consular here. Taking care of them. I believe this is when she pushes him. Oh yeah, as you can see, she just did. That's why she's looking over there. And that's why the chat is getting funny. But yeah, she pushed him all the way off. But yeah, I cut out that, and here he is back. He was on his way, or she, I guess. Twi'lek. She's on her way back. And that was another close one. That would have sucked. Just saying, but it was yeah, almost did it again. That would have been hilarious, I think. But you know, these are all really good guys. Whereas that's kind of another thing that I really like about this game is that the quote unquote community is, you know, they're a lot more friendly in this game to me. Like in WoW, they're like, oh, you're not doing max damage. You're not, you know, you don't have the right gear score. You're not allowed. Now it's just like, hey, yeah, you want to come down? And apparently there's some kind of chest or some lootable thing down here that she finds. Because I just saw her leap off the edge there, and I was like, okay. And the Enshrouding Force robe drops. That's a good Inquisitor robe. Though I have something far better. Not to brag, but I do. And it looks cool. Apparently they like to give assassins white gear, so I feel like the guy from Assassin's Creed constantly. Like there was an entire time when level 20 with the level 20 PvP gear that I look like that guy. Now the thing that I find, you know, I guess because it is more male based, they did change how the gear looks for male and female on a handful of it. So as you'll see, the Enshrouding Force robe looks different on Black Magic's than it would on me. I guess I see why they did that. But, you know, whatever. I'm sure that'll turn to an issue later on. I'm looking at you, Republic Dancers stuff. Or Imperial Dancers stuff. That's what you get for buying a security key. You get to dress your Twi'lek, or any female, in Princess Leia costume, basically. I was like, really? But you do have access to some of your base companion customizations, like Kemval and who else? Vet, I think, and Calio, or whatever the agent's one is, as well as Mako. Now there was a bit of skip there, but seems to be a little okay. A little bit. It's not too long of a flashpoint when it comes down to it. The longest part of it is basically killing all the ads. I mean, as far as I know, that's what it seemed, at least for us. There's just a ton of ads throughout here, and you don't really have to go out of your way to finish the bonus missions, which I think is great. It's all kind of just on the way there. Though the bonus boss, though, isn't down another path, so a little different. There's two. This is the boss, the Jedi boss. He killed us the first time, mainly because everyone just kind of lagged out, and just disaster happened, and he just kind of slaughtered us, which kind of sucked. I know for a fact I did, and I hit the home key on my computer, and apparently, as you can see, that looks, I was like, wait a minute, and it looks entirely different on her than it would on my red self, but yeah, I hit the home key right before we were fighting the boss, and apparently hitting the home, as you would just imagine, home key brings it back home, but it doesn't let me back in the game for some reason. Kind of sucks, so I was sitting there at a black screen for a while, and I believe the same happened to the bounty hunter. Now here is our strategy on this boss. She crowd-controlled one of them, and we focused damage on one of his, Sakan's Jedi healers. Now, this entire boss fight comes with a, well, I guess it's a buff on them, but a debuff for us, more of a buff on them, though, that reduces the damage we can deal. Now, we put me and the bounty hunter here on dealing damage with the Jedi healer, mainly because all she does is heal, and we did our best to interrupt her every once in a while. Now, Inquisitors have a move called Jolt, which interrupts, and but it does have rather long cooldown, as does I'm pretty sure the bounty hunters do as well. Now we take that guy out, and that reduces his chance to be healed. So we kind of just go all out on this. As you can see, I'm only doing like 700 from mauls when I normally do like 1,000, or yeah, like that. And like the shield lowers and whatnot once a healer's been defeated, as far as we know. So this is basically an ad control fight. Kill a healer, CC a healer if you can, and then kill the boss. And since we died, the chest over there on the right is not working. That's the example of glitchiness here. So we're just kind of like, bummer. Yeah, somebody's like, this chest should be useful. No, shut up.
Captain Yelto to the Imperial boarding party. I admit, you have us outnumbered and outgunned. You know we're not going to escape.
You were doomed the moment we found you.
Possibly, but I've still got one option. This vessel is powered by a Type 4 hypermatter annihilator. Right now, I'm disabling the safeties and rigging it to self-destruct. In a few minutes, you, me, my ship, and half your fleet will be reduced to stardust.
There's no need to kill yourself. We can work something out.
I'm afraid we can't. Yelto out.
And there you go, that was one of the cutscenes. One of the two, I think. So yeah, die to that boss, and you won't get loot. Now the only other time this happens is the last boss of it, mainly because we went in just guns blazing, which is not the thing you want to do. But as I said, I don't show that kind of stuff. This brings us to a new version of the bonus mission, which is going to be to, there's a, like, security, you know, computer machine thingies, you know, those little Star Wars computer security terminals. There we go. Thanks, game. That is, I mean, you destroy them, and that's your next bonus mission. Find 6 of them, blow them up. And as you can tell, my favorite move to end with, yeah, I believe that it sucks to be us. It really does. That would be the correct terminology. It does rather suck. Yeah, as you could probably imagine, I love to end my fights with a mob, with Assassinate, mainly because it just looks awesome, and I just like to. As I'm trying right now. Boom. Love it. Love it. And it's a nice way to dispose of them right at the end. I believe we have the bonus boss remaining, as well as the final boss left. So as you can tell, as you can see, it's not too hard. Just make sure you know what you're doing, and you've got proper leveled people in proper gear. Oh, I said gear weird. I was like, gear. And there's a High Profits earpiece, which would have been nice for me. But, you know, Black Magic's doesn't... I was being a nice guy, and Black Magic's didn't really have a good one, so I was just like, here you go, whatever. It's not that big a deal. She rolled Need for it, I rolled Greed. It really wasn't that big a deal for me. And as far as I know, healers need crit, so... there you go. We could always use more healers in this game. Which is why I was thinking of making my agent that you guys are watching the playthrough of a healer. That's why he's got to be Pyro. Which makes me really want to be Pyro, because... I burped there. Setting things on fire in video games is a pastime. Then look at that. How can that not be fun? Man, I'm like burping like crazy. Neutral grains, you have failed. So yeah, as I said, getting past that cutscene, it all just kind of, that was kind of, I don't know, it all just kind of goes downhill in speed-wise from there, at least in my opinion. You just kind of plummet on down and to a very satisfying ending, I can say. Especially if you appreciate Sith and being evil in this game, which I do because it's so friggin' fun to be evil in this game, you'll appreciate the ending. Warwick didn't really appreciate it because he went with the light side choice, but I guess that's one of the glories of the bounty hunter. You don't have to be, you can be a good Sith if you want. You can be a morally correct Sith, but, you know, who wants that? Granted, I do choose the occasional light side choice. I'm level 36 at this point, and only Dark 2, because I have like a 1.5 thousand light side points. Because I choose kind of what is appropriate to the situation, and occasionally it'll be like, it'll give you a light side choice to benefit yourself rather than the Empire, and I'll just be like, yeah, I'll take that. And sometimes I just think that'd be cooler. And the Maul. Maul is so, I love killing people with Maul and assassinate. It's just great. Again, going back to what I said at the beginning of this video, for those of you who are sitting through all of this and not just watching the boss fights, really thank you. That's great that somebody would want to watch listen to my voice and watch the Old Republic, me playing for almost an hour. I mean, that's just the best. You guys are awesome if you do that. If not, then ugh, no, I'm just kidding. If not, you guys are still awesome because you clicked on the video, and that's all a man ever needs is for you to click his video. You know what? Pretend I didn't say that, because I'm not sure how anyone would take that. Now, this room is, I believe it's this room. There's a couple of security chests, it might not be this room, but there is your 5th comm relay. Yeah, it's the next room where we've got the 6th one, the one that I'm thinking of with the multiple security chests where one is hidden. I do find it though. This is another mini boss, Lieutenant Minaris. Don't treat him like a, I mean, he is a boss, but really don't worry too much about it. He's just a mini boss, and from what I'm thinking of now, he kind of seems like he'd be another hint at the next boss, maybe because the final boss has works like tank, damage, and healer. He has that boss kind of is like that, where he's kind of the damage dealer, or you know what? I don't really remember how that worked. I knew the final boss though worked with a tank, damage, healer setup, and you had to treat them as such, aka get rid of the healer first. Now the thing about this guy is that he does leave those little fire circle things that similar to what I believe the second boss in Black Talon uses. So you can see the little area that's going to burn at, and yeah, you just kind of stay away from it because it will hurt you, which gives kind of a tough time for the tanks. It gives me good though. At least for most of the time, it's good for me. Did I say gives me good? I are totally smart. I can talk. Speaking of IR totally smart, that reminded me of Chugga Conroy, who is now doing Pokemon Emerald. My first LP ever. So I'm fully expecting comments to be like, oh, you copied Chugga, and I'm like, dude, this was around in 2009. There's going to be at least a few comments that say that. You'll be like, you copied Chugga. You are a Chugga copier. You are a Chugga impersonator. Just like, nope, I actually did this way before he did. So, yeah. Just to let you know, if anyone goes to the Pokemon Emerald channel and finds any similarities, he copied me. But seriously, there's no way on earth I could have copied him. I did it. What is it now? 3 years before him? Yeah. Long time before him. Excuse me. Now this Flashpoint here does give you a good amount of experience, because as you can see, I'm about almost halfway through level 36. So if you're looking for some experience and some commendations and possibly some fat loot, this would be the place, and you're around this level, of course. Yeah, you can get the quest, as I said, to go talk to Darth Malgus. at level. And as you can see, we destroyed the security terminals. This guy dropped a blue, which was a bounty hunter generator, and it gives us to the final stage of our bonus mission here, our main bonus mission here on Boarding Party, which is to shut down the main reactor. Now, as easy as that might sound, the main reactor is guarded by the bonus boss. Again, if you'd like to click up there, up on the annotations at the top of this video, he will be up there. He works in a pretty interesting way. I mean, it's not too complicated, but I don't know, I just kind of think it's interesting. It's pretty basic, all in all, but it's still cool. I believe I just translated what I said like 5 different times. Isn't breakfast supposed to make you, like, prepared for the day? Come on, Nutrigrain. Now, you do have to take a little bit of a diversion down this hallway here if you'd like to go on to the bonus mission. Nice drink of water right there. I did feel bad for Saline, who was our tank, for pulling all the damage off of him often, because I was kind of way higher level than everyone else. But I was okay with it. It wasn't that big a deal. The thing that I hope that they don't incorporate in this game, or what WoW did, was that dungeon finder. Because granted, in this, like, everything is on the Imperial fleet, and you really don't need, you know, that many. I don't know. You really don't need something like that. And Black Magix had asked me if, as you can see, if an assassin is sort of like a battle mage, and I was like, because I had a hard time trying to define what it was, what an assassin was compared to like other games. And she's like, is it kind of like a battle mage? And I said, yes, that is exactly what it is, because you're up there hitting people, but you're still using your lightning. Granted, not as much as if you're deception spec, but you're still using it. And here we go. This is the boss here. Now, I did cut out a bit of the explaining here, because it's not, I mean, you don't really need to see that. I'm not sure when I cut exactly, because I'm watching this in full screen mode, so I can see everything. But, okay, here we go. So, the way this boss works is that his droids, this guy's droids are super protective of him. If you kill him before his droids, they will go into, like, crazy anger mode. Now, that's not exactly what it's called, but they'll get really pissed, and they'll go start self-destructing. Now, if you're anywhere near a blast radius of their self-destruction, at least according to what I've read up, and according to Warwick, it'll kill you. You'll just be dead, and then you'll have to start over. So, best strategy: take out the ads first. Again, this is another ad control mechanic, and also the corner reactors there explode. As it says, it gives you a really nice warning there, so that you know. It says it tells you even where. It says the back right one, the front left one. It's normally the back right one from what we saw though. So I mean, it'll tell you, yeah, front left. It'll tell you when or which one is going to explode, and just, you know, back away from it, because you don't want to be in an explosion. Now, without those droids, this chief engineer dude has no shields. As far as we know, he also gives, those droids also give him shields. And without them, goes down without a fight, basically. And since we didn't die to him, that's a chest working. And dropped Agile Assassin's Foundry gloves. Now, as you can see, these only give me a little bit more stats, but I do lose my crit and surge and power rating for those, so Black Magix again gets those. Those are some really good gloves that I have. I could use some better implants and relics, but hey. Got some good stuff. There's the stats if you'd like to take a look at it, and as you can see, mine were a little better. And they do have the same model as the Stalker gloves, the Stalker set. Which I'm pretty sure like every single piece of gear looks like now. At least for me so far. After I got my first Stalker robe, everything has looked like that. But granted, this piece now has shoulder pads, which I kind of think is awesome. I look like I'm Iceman or something. And now without that, without the chief engineer, we have finished the bonus mission, and now it's on to the final boss. And as you can see, We've just got one more comm link to destroy that is in the second to last room, as far as I know. Now, as I said, there is a hidden chest, security chest in there, so and I'm sure you can you'll see it because I found it, and you'll see all the worthless stuff that's in it. Sad day when there's no more water in my water bottle. Yeah, it's this room right here. This is where the final comm link is, and the where the 2 security chests are. Yeah, so as you could probably see it there. The second one is up there on a ledge. I believe Black Magix finds the other one. And I tried to get it while my guys were fighting here. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go get that chest if you guys don't mind fighting. But, you know, you can't get it while you're fighting, which I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Some things you can interact with while you're fighting, but some things you can't. Most of the things you can interact with are you know, things you gotta destroy. Actually, I guess I didn't leave them. I was gonna go do it, and they went fighting on without me. So here's a security chest. Can't open it yet, but I do later. I believe while Black Magix opens the other one, which is, or maybe she doesn't open the other one. Maybe she's destroying the comm link at that time. But I remember her opening another one. But you know, no big deal. Whatever happened. It's kind of cool that we weren't all Sith Lords. It's a pretty good team we had here. Ideal team for me. Yeah, there is the other security chest. I'm right. Is you got a range healer. Granted, all healers are ranged, but a healer, and there's some pants there, and here's the other one. At least the team that I like, which is what we almost had. I like tank, melee DPS, range DPS, and a healer. Now, since he has a power tech, he has to get in close, but he can also, he's real versatile, kind of like a Madness Assassin would be. And there's our final comm link right there. Yeah, Madness Assassins are versatile. You incorporate a lot more Force Lightning into your repertoire, whereas Deception uses more just Discharge and Shock. Well, like everybody uses their Discharge, but Assassin relies on it a lot, or Deception relies on it a lot. So that was the final comm link. We've completed every single bonus mission in here, and basically just got one more room to clear out before we get to the boss. Now this is, I hinted at the beginning, our bounty hunter is a hero. This guy, it was great, and I'm so glad I got it on camera. And if Warwick is ever watching this, then you are forever archived in glory, basically, in my opinion. Oh wait, there is another room. I did forget. Right here, and as you can see, you can see the front of the vessel up there, and that's where our final battle is. Oh, I apologize for the yawn there. And again, thank you guys for sticking with me. This has been awesome, and it's been a great way to eat breakfast with talking about the Old Republic. Specifically boarding party. Yeah, and as you can see, you don't need to just have everybody on one guy at once. You can just, the bounty hunter went off and he was just like, I'm gonna kill this guy, whereas in WoW that is not something you do. We just got the rest of these guys to clear out, and then we'll be at the last boss, which I did cut out our fail at. And sadly, since we did fail, as I said before with the Jedi guy, we don't get loot from it. I'm sure Darth Hader has enough, that's a website by the way, it's a great resource for loot tables and stuff like that, and information and news. Yeah, it's a great way to find out the loot table for this boss. The Storm Squad, the final boss here. As you can see, we've got a medic off to the right, a guy who is supplying a shield, whatever his name is, there's the guy who is off to the left is supplying a shield to Jorland, however you pronounce it. So here's our strategy, and possibly the right one. You're gonna take out the medic first, and these guys are immune to crowd control, as far as we know. Gonna take out the medic first because, you know, that's just how it is. and then we focused damage on the other guy. We sent a tank to go in and tank both Jorland and the guy supplying the shield to Jorland. Now, if he were to attack Jorland, which is kind of what his downfall was, Jorland reflects all damage back to him as long as that shield is active. So, we get rid of the ability for them to heal with taking care of this medic. As you can see, he is pulling Mazzy, that's the guy's name, Massey, whatever. He's supplying the shield to Jorland, who I can only assume is the main leader of the Storm Squad here. Now, we try and do as many interrupts to Alon as possible, the medic. But, you know, to stop him from healing. Now, the thing that sucks is that, I mean, there's no real way, at least, to stop Jorland's attacks, and he just kind of just shoots at random, which kind of sucked. Gave our healer a run for money. And, but it's okay, because you're going to see Warwick, who is the superhero bounty hunter. Once we get rid of the medic, things get interesting. So, you know, take care of the medic, who's the guy supplying heals. Next on our agenda is to take care of Mazzy here, who is giving Jorland his shield. Now, we were constantly being attacked by Jorland still, even though Mazzy was supplying his shield. Jorland was still reflecting attacks. Granted, I don't know if this is a glitch or what, but as Warwick says, the entire fight and glitches out. And we're all dangerously getting a little low on health there, which is not good at all. And I and Celine go down. So we're down with Warwick and Black Magics. But Jorland and as Celine and I go down, we've taken care of Mazzy. Now Warwick and Black Magics are all that's left, but he's constantly firing at Black Magics, who has now been defeated. So, are you ready? Are you ready for the greatness of Warwick the Bounty Hunter? We all were just kind of like, oh, gotta try it again. But look at this. Watch this and be amazed. This is how to play a bounty hunter, folks. Rocket Punch? Whatever that was. I believe he heals himself once or twice. Yeah, go man, go. We're like, hold on a minute, this is possible, isn't it? And it is. The flames are so nice. Yeah, and as you can see, he did heal himself, and he gave himself a huge advantage over Jorland. We're just like, oh no. Oh, it was so great. Like, this is Star Wars right here. This is Star Wars right here. So this is freaking awesome. And Warwick said he's broken. And there we go. That was great. Warwick said that he bugged out, though, due to he was only doing one attack that he could interrupt. And the chest is broken again, because we did die to him before, so that kind of sucked. But there we go, a Warwick, hero of the Empire, basically. That is why bounty hunters are awesome. So, killing the last boss leaves us with another cutscene with a lot of evilness in it, so I'll leave you to watch.
Area is secure. Get the tech team. Shut down the self-destruct.
Blast you. All of you, get off my bridge! Is this some great victory to you? Using a fleet to capture one ship?
You, soldier, make her silent. On it. What about the rest of the crew? Should I tell the boarding parties to begin executions?
Kill them all. Fear will ensure the Empire's strength.
Acknowledged.
Bloody work, but necessary. When the the operation is complete, we'll broadcast the names and faces of the dead as a warning to the galaxy. More importantly, the cruiser is ours. Preparing it for the assault on the Foundry and its Jedi Master now.
My work here is done.
We need to make a few repairs and get a crew in place, but we'll be ready shortly. In the meantime, I offer congratulations and suggest you return to the flagship. Darth Malgus wants to speak to his strike force.
I don't think I can explain how much I like the female Sith Inquisitor voice actress. I think it's great. She's one of the few voices that give characters like really good personality in here.
Marfania, you said Malgus wanted to talk?
Yes, while we're refitting the Republic cruiser.
You have done well, all of you. Had we such strength in the last war, the Treaty of Coruscant might not have been needed.
We're honored, my lord.
But now, a greater challenge awaits. I have studied the information from the Republic vessel, and I am now certain of the Foundry's nature.
You said the Emperor's been after it for 300 years. I assume it has value.
Indeed. The Foundry's specifications match those of 3 other space stations known by history. Each of these legendary stations could manufacture technology on a massive scale. One xenoformed planets, another built fleets of ships.
The Star Forges.
The Foundry creates endless armies of droids, commanded by the Foundry's Jedi Master, a man very likely mad after his long imprisonments.
No good can come of this.
Moff Veneer, you may proceed.
The Foundry is built into an asteroid surrounded by the Republic fleet. The cruiser we captured should pass their blockade without interference. You will fly the cruiser directly to the Foundry and lead the ground assault, while our ships jump from hyperspace to engage the fleet.
The Foundry will be ours, and you will eliminate the Jedi Master.
Is there a reason you can't do this?
Much as I would like to handle this personally, other matters require my attention.
It isn't just the Foundry we fight for. We fight to prove to the galaxy that the Empire is unstoppable. Glory to the Sith and to the Emperor.
Well, that's a complete run-through of the boarding party, guys, complete with all cutscenes. Thank you all very much for watching, and video did cut off here, but yeah, guys, thanks for watching this. I appreciate it, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.